Hi, I'm Father Anthony Hannon from In Patches, and this is To Prepare His Way. The other day someone asked me about my position on how old the earth is. Related to that question is the origin of the human species. These are two apparent problems in the modern mind in reconciling the truth of the scriptures, and hence the Christian faith, with scientific knowledge. First, let me begin, but that the church does not take a strict position on scientific theories. The church allows scientific theories to develop. That's the position of the Catholic Church. If the scientific consensus is that the earth is billions or trillions of years old, the universe, everything that exists, goes back to Big Bang Theory, or however they conceptualize this. The church allows her children to use, his or her own brain and take their own position on that. We don't tell people, you must believe that everything that exists was created by God in 6 literal days. That is, the heavens and the earth, right? We don't say you have to, but you may. A Catholic may take that position. That's perfectly acceptable. When it comes to the origins of the human species, likewise, the Church does not take a firm position on that, except to say this, that the human species is traced back to one set of human parents, whom we call Adam and Eve. And that Adam and Eve committed sin with their free will. That is the first sin, the primordial sin. And as the result of that, human beings inherit the effects of original sin and have original sin on their soul. The other thing the Catholic Church requires in our understanding of the origin of human beings is that God Himself directly creates every human soul. And based on the scientific evidence that we have today, the Church's position that God creates the human soul at the time of conception, the time of fertilization. God does this directly. A human being is made up of a body and soul. A living human being is a body and a soul. A Catholic, therefore, may believe that God created all the species all at once, and there is no kind of evolution of one species into another. A Catholic is perfectly free to believe that. A Catholic may also believe, based on scientific theory, this is not belief in the same sense of belief in the articles of faith, okay? Articles of faith are firm, they're unchanging. Scientific understanding or development of knowledge is something else. We acknowledge that we don't know everything, and that human beings have grown in our understanding of the things that exist. So, a Catholic may also take some sort of modified evolutionary position. My position on that, by the way, is that God created all the species. And that I'm very skeptical that one species kind of morphs into another species. That's my position. Is my position a minority position amongst priests? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Probably is the minority position, actually. In terms of how old the earth is, I don't put a number on it, but I tend to believe that the earth is young, not really, really old. When I look at the scientific evidence, the archaeological evidence, and some of the contradictions that come into play in the fossil record, I think that a lot of the fossil record can be explained through a catastrophic event, and most likely the flood at Noah's time. Is this the minority position amongst priests? I would say, amongst all the priests I know, absolutely. Whenever this topic has come up, and we don't discuss that very often, usually I'm met with horse laugh. You know what that is? Well, it's not an argument. It's just like, you're kidding me. That you can't be serious. No one believes that. That's usually the response I get from other priests. So I hold the minority position. The earth is young, not billions and trillions of years old. And I also hold the position, which probably is the minority position, but I'm not sure, that all the species are uniquely made by God, and that there's no evolution of species, of one species kind of turning into another. So there you go. You can leave your comments. Let me know your opinions. Argue it out, whatever it is. Convince me of that I'm wrong. But there you have it. There's my position on how old the earth is and the origin of the human species. In Patches.